Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tavua. We love Today FM in Tavua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM assures Nandera residents they're safe. Fiji's foreign reserves reaches a new peak tomorrow. And more employed people commit crime.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
But first, as of tomorrow, Fiji's foreign reserve will reach a new peak of $2.3 billion. This was announced by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama, who says it's an all-time high for Fiji's economy. Rachel Nart reports.
$2.3 billion. Never amount seen in our economy before, in all its history.
This increased foreign reserves indicates Fiji's economy has performed extremely well.
Still have increased, not just in terms of the nominal sum of the foreign reserves, but also in terms of our ability to purchase goods for the next 5.8 months.
The $2.3 billion is about 4 times the level of Fiji's foreign reserves in 2005.
Those things, of course, as you would know, that it helps determine our ability to get better interest rates when we're actually negotiating with our development partners or multilateral banks.
A chunk of the earnings is generated from the tourism industry.
Different sectors involved in all of this. It's also remittances and etc. and all that kind of stuff, sugar, all of that. But in general, it's a good thing for Fiji, you know. And like I say, if you do the comparison, it's actually quite good.
Fiji's foreign reserves are also an indication of the increase in international trade. Rachel Narth, FBC News.
We will not tolerate any Fijian being threatened, bullied or blackmailed to vote for a political party in the 2018 general election. This assurance was given to residents of Kuluvota Moala settlement in Nandera, Suva by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama today. Families in this settlement are living in fear after they claim the landowner in the area threatened to evict them if they don't vote for Sitiveni Rambuka's opposition SODELPA party. Akusita Tale with more.
The Prime Minister, Attorney General and the Police Commissioner met with residents of the small informal community to assure them they're safe and there's no need to live in distress.
You have the right to vote for anyone. That right should not be taken from you. So feel safe, don't feel threatened about where you stay, and because you might be removed if you don't vote for a particular party, in fact, in this case, SODELPA. I'm not here, I want to tell you, I'm not here because I'm Fiji first. I'm here as Prime Minister.
Residents living in this informal settlement don't have proper lease documents after a tenancy at will arrangement with the landowners. They say the land is owned by Litia Rawiriwiri, the national president of the SODELPA Women's Wing, who allegedly told them this week that they will be evicted from the land they're living on if they don't vote for 1987 coup leader Sitiveni Rambuka's SODELPA party. Earlier this week, the women in the area were ordered to attend a meeting by Rawiriwiri where they were threatened and photographed for social media under a Facebook post by SODELPA volunteer Chalembamba that claimed the women were part of the racially categorized new Indo-Fijian division of SODELPA. According to the Fiji Sun, Rawiriwiri has denied making the threats to Indo-Fijian women living in the area. Bainimarama says his assurance of safety is for all communities, regardless of whether they live in informal or formal settlements.
We want to tell you that you are safe in Fiji. No one is to threaten you. Now, I want you to tell us if anyone is threatened so that we can continue to assure you that you are safe. We don't want people to come and tell you, because you've gone to the papers, you must now go. We don't want that to happen.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiweni Ngiliho told FBC News that while it's too early to comment, investigations have begun. They will forward complaints to the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption if they find any breach of the electoral process. FBC News spoke to residents, but many refused to speak on camera because they felt intimidated and frightened. However, it's believed some women did confirm their earlier claims with the Prime Minister when the cameras were not present. Akusita Tali, FBC News.
The common perception of unemployment leading to crime is incorrect, as the highest crimes committed in the past 6 months were accounted for by those employed. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiweni Ngiliho made this revelation this week and says the force is working on decreasing this worrying trend. Rachel Nath once again with the details.
General belief that unemployment leads to crime, but the stats for the first 6 months of this year shows the total opposite to that.
Studies from the police force revealed concerning statistics.
That 64% of the offenders were employed in either way, followed by 27% that were unemployed, 5% that were self-employed, and 4% were tertiary students.
The police commissioner stressed the troubling statistics of the increase in crime cannot be tackled alone.
The community has the answer to that why. We will be talking to the religious organizations. I've received an invitation from the Methodist Church of Fiji. We will make similar presentations.
Ngiliho has given his assurance that crime in Fiji isn't out of control as claimed on social media.
6% better than last year. Last year we were 4% better than the previous year. And I'm working hard that we are 10% or more by the end of this year.
He adds criminals are becoming more sharp and don't have respect for age or police. However, the police force is implementing a number of new operations to assist in countering crime. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Every Fijian, regardless of background, belief and status, deserves an equal role in the progress of the nation. This was stressed by Prime Minister Varange Bainimarama last night during the fundraiser for the redevelopment of the Rewa branch at the Sri Sanatan Dharam Pratinidhi Sabha. The new Rewa branch once completed, will include the new temple, multi-purpose hall and ashram. Bainimarama has commended the Sri Sanatan Dharam Pratinidhi Sabha's effort to make Fiji a better place. He says any young person who has attended a Sanatan educational institution or spent time within communities knows full well that their contributions to Fiji have made the nation a better place to call home. The Prime Minister says the Sabha has worked alongside the government to help create a more knowledgeable society.
We should not discriminate against any of our fellow Fijians on the basis of their religion, ethnicity, race, province, or social status. And we should all work together so that we appoint the best people, irrespective of their background, to deliver the best service to our people.
The latest findings in the employment sector are expected to be released this week. Employment Minister Chone Usamate says the employment and unemployment survey was carried out and the result will be made public. The last survey done on the employment sector in Fiji was in 2011, which showed 6.9% Fijians were unemployed. Usamate says unemployment is a global issue.
Productivity is rising, but the share of that productivity that goes to labor is declining. That is something that affects all the countries in the world. It's not something that's affecting Fiji. So there's always a challenge to make sure that while it's good to have economic growth, we must make the economic growth as job-rich as possible.
Still to come, crime prevention consultation heads north. And Red Cross rehabilitates more than 77,000.
Moala rarada ranalika, o tikongona taon singa toka, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Ibora ni batu karaham para binaranga. Total takinan na waronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
The consultation on the proposed National Crime Prevention Board, which is headed by the Minister for Defence, will soon head to the Northern Division. Police Director Operations Maritino Giolevu used the Northern Duamvata Crime Prevention Carnival platform to call on the support of the people in Vanua Levu. Eleanor Turangaivu with this report.
The purpose of the proposed National Crime Prevention Board is to oversee crime prevention at the national level. And the Fiji Police Force is going around the divisions, gathering the people's views.
Very soon, the same consultation process will be done right here in the friendly North. I urge you all to attend the consultation so we can hear from you. Remember, police and the community are one.
The proposal to set up the National Crime Prevention Board was revealed in Nandi last week by the Defence Minister Ratu Inoke Kumbombola. With the recent surge in criminal activities in our communities, police are also looking into reviving crime prevention committees.
If we think we do not need or acknowledge your participation in the crime prevention process, please know that we do. Your contribution is valuable. Your Divisional Police Commander and his team stand ready to assist if you wish to start or revive your crime prevention committees.
Duamvata Crime Prevention Carnival Committee Chair Satish Kumar says this is a good initiative as the Northern Division is serious about reducing its crime rate.
It becomes my duty, it becomes your duty to fight against the crime, be the eyes and the ears of the police.
The proposed National Crimes Board will act in an advisory role to the Minister of Defence and National Security, who will then take the issues up to government. It is based heavily on the community policing concept. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
About 77,000 people affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston were assisted by the Fiji Red Cross Society. Red Cross Director General Felipe Nainoda says with its post-Tropical Cyclone Winston work coming to an end last month, there are still people who need assistance. Senia Nimboila reports.
The Fiji Red Cross Society has managed to build homes and train more than 200 carpenters in the process and build water systems as part of its rehabilitation work.
Some needs that are out there that we are looking at, and so as part of this beneficiary service that we are conducting, we are also looking at how have the people progressed since TC Winston? How has the community grown or become more resilient?
According to 71-year-old Josephat Mbuliawa, the help from the Fiji Red Cross was timely.
The Fiji Red Cross built my new home with a porch, bathroom, toilet and 2 bedrooms and a sitting room. I'm 71 years old and I'm fortunate to receive assistance from the Fiji Red Cross. My wife passed away and my house was fully damaged when TC Winston struck the island of Ovalau last year.
The Fiji Red Cross has analyzed its post-TC Winston rehabilitation work and found new techniques for providing assistance in time of natural disaster. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
The Northern Duamvata Crime Prevention Carnival raised $86,000 in the week-long event that ended last night. Although this is just a little short of the target, organisers are still hailing the event a success.
It was a night of fun, laughter and entertainment as hundreds gathered at the Damoda City Complex in Lambasa to witness the crowning of the Northern Duamvata Crime Prevention King and Queen.
My message to you all tonight is to support the Duamvata community policing and have a partnership between the police and the community working hand in hand to reduce crime.
With the theme Duamvata for everyone's safety, the carnival saw the participation of 6 contestants for the Queen's crown, 5 for the Kings, 6 for the Teens, 5 for the Princesses, and 6 for the Priscilla category. Each contestant advocated on a crime issue prevalent in the Northern Division.
I challenge you to keep the momentum going and not merely use the name Duamvata for the carnival and yet live a different way of life.
Miss Sabu Elizabeth Mira was crowned the Nduawata Queen.
To all the contestants out there, this crown is not only mine. What is mine is yours. What is ours is theirs. Thank you.
An emotional Mr. Banana Leaf restaurant, 19-year-old Emosi Rambuka, took out the king's crown.
First and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God, not forgetting Mom and Dad, for your support. Without you, this crown won't be mine.
Miss Sabu also took out Miss Personality. Miss Lambasa Manisha Kumar was Miss Photogenic. Eleanor Turangiview, FBC News.
Tonight in our successful Fijian segment, we feature the story of an Indian classical dance guru. Sidorna Rao is the only Bharatnatyam teacher in the country who has dedicated 17 years of her life training our young generation. Shireen Shivan caught up with Rao yesterday.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
It is said that nothing great in the world has ever been accomplished without passion, and this is what led 45-year-old Sidorna Rao achieve her childhood dream.
Before, in the movies, they used to show the classical dancers. And I used to love those dancers, especially by Hema Malini, Meenakshi Sheshadri and Vaijayanti Mala. I used to love those dancers, and I used to think to myself, when will I learn this? When will I move like this? When will I do this? And the costume is so lovely, especially when you see a Bharatnatyam dancer in a costume, it's so lovely. I used to just dream that one day I'll become a dancer.
Rao studied Indian classical dance in India and returned to Fiji in 2000. And since then, she has been teaching Bharatnatyam to Fijian youngsters. Bharatnatyam is an Indian classical dance performed exclusively by women that expresses Hindu religious themes and spiritual ideas. Two of her students recently performed in China during the International Festival for Intangible Cultural Heritage program.
Some of the students, they can't cope, they go away. But there are some students who can cope, who have been staying with me till now. So I would say Bharatnatyam, in the beginning it will be tough, but after some time it's very easy. Once you get the opportunity to learn, please come ahead and learn.
Rao, who is a full-time employee at the Education Ministry, is happily married with 2 kids. Despite her busy schedule, she always manages to spare some time for her dance class.
I had to arrange in a way that I don't ignore some of the things. I get up early, I do my housework, I go to work, I come back in the afternoon, do my housework, look after my children, my husband and everything. And there's a time management. I have to be alert all the time. Even the program comes, I have to give the program by my students.
The Bharatnatyam teacher believes one should not sit back and wait, but turn their passion into a strength to motivate them to achieve their dreams.
Dancing is an art. In any form you can do this. But classical dance, you need dedication, you need focus. If you're focused and dedicated, you can attain this. And for the younger generation, please try to preserve this culture. If you need any help, you can ask any cultural center, they'll be able to help you. And you'll be able to preserve whatever our forefathers have left behind for us. Please try to preserve this culture and learn some sort of classical dance.
For now, Rao hopes to obtain an advanced level in Bharatnatyam and hopes to see her 10-year-old daughter follow her footsteps. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Successful Fijians was brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
And Fiji Beach Volleyball Federation to take 4 teams in upcoming mini-games. This and more coming up.
Bulavinaka, I'm Anare Sorbakro of Neabu Wenabuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Namosi rugby side will never underestimate the Rewa side when they meet in the final of the HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy next week. Namosi themselves had only risen to the top flight in 1998 in Lebuka, hence they don't want to take any game lightly. Coach Josateki Savo says they will now shift their focus to defend the title next week.
All the teams they want to win the Fairbrother, and I think this the main climax rugby in Fiji. This I think we went back and discussed amongst the coaching staff and also the players and analyzed each our games, and I think we've got our strength. And
the Crusaders have won their 8th Super Rugby title with a convincing win over the Lions in the final in Johannesburg this morning. However, the Crusaders held on to win the match 25-17 and claimed their first Super Rugby title in 9 years. The Lautoka football side has qualified to the OFC Champions League after defeating Lambasa 2-1 at Churchill Park this afternoon. Zibras Sahib scored both goals for the Blues, while Lambasa's lone goal was scored by Chonitani Baksh. Meanwhile, Nandi beat Raketi 1-0 at Prince Charles Park. Rusiati Matarirenga scored Nandi's lone goal in the first half of the game. Lautoka now leads with 30 points. 4 volleyball teams will represent the country to the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu later this year. This includes 2 men's and 2 women's teams. The Fiji Volleyball Federation is holding a weekly competition at Lodala Suva and is calling on the public to showcase their raw talent and what it takes to be in the national squad. Melita Vanga has more.
The Central Beach Volleyball Tournament that started in Suva yesterday hopes to attract local talents who hopes to carry Fiji's hope to Vanuatu.
Our attention towards establishing the best team to represent Fiji on our upcoming international tournaments.
Edwards says he's looking at fielding in players who has what it takes to be in the final squad.
I look a lot towards my more experienced players that understand the game, but in saying that, we have a lot of new raw talent of players that are more familiar with the indoor game.
However, Fiji Beach Volleyball Director Chosese Tulele says they're also focusing to expand across the region.
We've been playing in overseas competitions, but not too frequent, and participating in all the events to ensure that we maximize our competition level for our local players. Mostly we just go to SPG and Oceania, but now we are looking at a totally different angle, which is to participate in more events out of the 2 that we currently always participate in.
The Central Beach Volleyball competition is a build-up to the Fiji Games, which will be held next month. The final selections will be carried out for the upcoming mini games in December. Melita Banga, FBC Sports.
The Sambeto Roosters defeated Ravarava Rabbitohs 12-8 to win the Vodafone Cup Premier Grade Final at Prince Charles Park in Nandi yesterday. Both teams were tied 6-all at halftime. Aparosa Rakoto and Waisea Naseka both scored a try each for the Roosters. Both teams come from the same village in Sambeto, Nandi. Roosters captain says the final was a tough one and he thanked all his players for a good game.
Changing the game plan, just changing this weekend because the 2 teams they play in Roosters club past years. They only have brothers in one family, and I told them yesterday.
Now looking at other matches' final results. West Tigers were too strong for Saru Dragons and beating them 14-10 in the under-14 grade. Saru Dragons defeated Nandi Dolphins 10-4 in the under-16 grade. Burenitu Cowboys hammered Nandera Panthers 40-16, while Police Sharks beat Namuaniwanga Sea Eagles 18-16 in the reserve grade. Similar to yesterday, fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. Looking at the west, extremely gorgeous day with no sign of any rain. Nandi was the hottest at 29 degrees. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it rained again in Pacific Harbour, cloudy in Suva and Nosuri, while fine weather prevailed in Raki Raki. And up in Vanuatu, it was fine weather with Lambasa the hottest at 30 degrees. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide will be at 11:57 a.m. tomorrow, with a high tide tomorrow morning at 9:14. The beautiful sunrise will be at 6:30. Now for tomorrow, there will be sunshine across the country. However, Nosuri, Suva and Savusavu will experience cloudy conditions. Tomorrow's temperatures are expected to be 24 degrees for Suva, which will be the coolest. As for the further outlook, far and apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas are expected. Recapping the main stories, PM assures Nandera residents they're safe. Fiji's foreign reserves reaches a new peak tomorrow, and more employed people commit crime. You can always send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable week. Bye for now.
Moala radada ranalika o tikongona taon ni Singapore ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri.
Ya dora subuli kurna bili. Iborani batukara hambara binanga. Do talitakinan na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri. Bull FM
number 2 na seri.